so excited. Y'all, we're back. Y'all, we're back. Y'all, we're back. Oh my gosh, y'all, we are back. We're back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Nah, for real though, it has been a crazy time, y'all. It really has. And it took a long time to get back. You guys don't know this in real time, but this is actually me recording by myself for the first time. Oh my goodness, I don't know, since the last episode that I recorded, which is actually our highest rated episodes, 200 downloads. It may not seem like a lot to other people, but like I've been gone for a while, so for it to still be doing numbers is crazy to me. So thank you so much for just tuning in. I'm really excited for this season, y'all. I have recorded the majority of the episodes with my guests for the season already. So yeah, this is just me being candid, me being Maya, me having a Maia moment by myself. And I have tried to record this episode at least 10 times before I have been able to just sit here in this seat and do it for many different reasons. It just never worked. And I just really thank God. Even right now, while I'm sitting here, my phone is going off. There's a million other things that are trying to grab my attention. But I know I have to be present and be here right now. Like, this is the moment to do this. And so, yeah. Let's get into a lot of things. This episode, I really want to talk about me navigating being multi-hyphenate. What does that even mean? The vision behind this season, of course, because it is a new season. So there's some other things happening that haven't happened before. And also just purpose and being purpose aligned in this season of my life. And like, what does that mean to me? So starting off with the vision for this season, if you haven't already, go ahead and take a look at the trailer or listen to the trailer. You can also, that's a great time for me to put in this little caveat. I have been recording audio and video this season, y'all. You should be so proud of me. I have been recording both. And so I'm still figuring everything out. Know that this is not like a highly curated podcast where there's a team of people and like there's like sponsors and all this. Like, I really do this as a labor of love, and I'm being obedient to what like God is telling me to do. And it has been like very hard and laborious doing this. Very hard, very laborious. I want to shout out to Tyreek Butler, who has been so gracious to like help me during this time with production and audio production, and he is highly qualified for this job. And I am going to be so grateful to bless him for just volunteering his time for me during this time that I really cannot give of myself because Maia Moments is not like making money. The vision behind season 2. This is 3 years in the making. Truly and honestly, it's 3 years in the making. I had a vision. So sometimes, like as believers, as people of faith, it's really, really important that you know how God talks to you, how you can discern how God talks to you. And he usually talks to you in the way that you give, I don't want to say visions, because it's not always a vision for some people. It's a whisper. Some people, they will get a dream. Some people, a person or something. Like, you have to discern and really mature in your faith to understand how God talks to you. And so me going back to even when I was a child, God has always really talked to me in visions. Like I knew something was happening with visions, and then confirmation came from other people. So about 2 years ago, or it's about to be 3, during my sophomore year in college, I got like a vivid vision of my podcast. I was doing like a live podcast event, and there were so many creatives there. And we were talking and mingling, and like people were really just enjoying the platform that had been Maia Moments for whatever reason. no, this was not something that was a dream or in my heart when I started this podcast. Let me start with that caveat that this is not what I imagined when I started. I started it, and then after I started, I got this vision. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Like sometimes when you have dreams and stuff, you're just thinking about what your head is imagining, what you could think of, but you're not really like, oh, God is giving me something. But shortly but surely, I started to get confirmation from other people. And I was like, oh, like this podcast is like much bigger than like a just little podcast for me to be sharing my thoughts and my feelings. Like this is a platform. Like I'm meant to like steward this as a platform. And, when I saw how it was received from people with minimal advertising, me just like winging it, and truly and honestly, I'm still blown away that people value my voice in the way that I do. But I guess God didn't structure me to be with a big mouth for my words not to make an impact. But it still just is so weird to me in some ways. So truly and honestly, to make a long story short, the vision behind this season, what I got from prayer, from fasting, from confirmation from other people, is to create a safe space for creatives to talk about what God has done in their lives. Um, And that is what the whole season's theme is, creatively purposed. I have put money in this. I have invested in this. You know, I got some branding. I did some photo shoots so I could make it look right. I've been really spending a lot of time in social media. If you don't follow Maia Moments, please go to Instagram, follow at MAIA Moments, MOMENTS, to make sure you're up to date on everything. And yeah, it's really been a labor of love. I want to be honest though and transparent. This has been the most trying thing that I've done aside from my business. And that is one of the most trying things that I've ever done. So together, it has been very hard, very, very hard. And if I'm honest, I'm really terrified of believing that this is actually helpful or impactful to anyone. Like this isn't just Maia like talking with people and like because she wants to talk to people. Like my intention behind all of this is not to just have conversations with people and cute. Like I really want to be impactful. I've prayed over every guest. I've prayed over everything that I say. And this is really a ministry for me. And so my prayer, my hope, my thoughts is that all that I'm doing through it would be felt and known. And I really have no expectations for the amount of people or how far or how big it reaches. I just want to be impactful. And whether that's to one person or 20 people or hundreds of people, I mean, of course, I would love for this to really move mountains for people. But if it doesn't, if it was meant for just one person, I have made peace with that. I'm okay with that. And I think one is as impactful as a million, truly and honestly, when you think about how hard it is to really leave an impression on people. Think about how impressionable you are as a person. It's so valuable to be seen as someone that can impart or inspire or just really be anyone worth knowing to anybody. So I don't take it for granted. This was about saying yes in an act of obedience for me. So in understanding that, I had to frame my mind that obedience in saying yes, my yes has to have more faith than any fear of failure, any terror of expectations. Like I really have to strip all those things back, and my faith in God and what he tells me to do has to be, I have to have more faith for that than anything else. And I think that's actually a running theme through what you'll hear people talking about throughout the season is they had to have faith more in what they were doing than the fear or the terror of what they could be doing. And all the guests on here, they have, I would say they're married to their creativity, meaning they have monetized their creative abilities and they either live off of it or they make enough money from it that it's supported. Meaning it's not just their dream anymore, it is a supported dream. Other people are connected and invested in their success from them just believing in themselves. Truly and honestly, from people just believing in themselves, they now have supported dreams, and some of them are now able to support their dreams completely to live a life that I feel I would call purposed. But it is a lot of winging it. Like me being here right now in a library because I can't find a studio where I'm at back home. It's me winging it. I have a standard setup that anyone could have, winging it. But truly and hopefully, this is produced in a way that makes you feel like, oh, she's not just doing this. I'm like, hopefully, me telling you that is like, it's not a surprise, but it's also not like, oh, I would have guessed that. Hopefully, it's produced in a way that doesn't make you guess that I'm winging this. I really try to do everything in excellence. But let's move on to like life since graduating from college. The last time I talked to y'all, I was a full-time student, and I am now a fully graduated woman. If you didn't know, I graduated with my BA in theater arts performance, aka acting, with a minor in dance. And let me just give y'all some insight on that, because that's the whole story in itself. Graduating from college had to be the most difficult thing that I've ever done. And it has nothing to do with the curriculum. It has nothing to do with the social aspect. It had to do a lot with trusting in God that I was going to be able to actually get through college, because financial difficulty continuously was the thorn in my side. And I'm not talking about the thorn in my side due to lack of financial discipline, lack to preparation. Those are elements when I first got there of the reason why, but it was not the reasons after I had been there. Like it was a true spiritual attack on me the entire time I was in college. And the verse, we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but demonic forces and evil spirits. I really think I was dealing with that spiritual war while I was in college. God really humbled me. I'm still being humbled, but God really, he did some humbling to me in college. And what do I mean by that? I had never experienced anxiety and full-blown panic attacks until I got to college. It was the first time that I was on my own. I didn't know I'm from the Bay Area, Yay Area, California, and this was the first time that I was living in the South adjacent. Some people don't like to call Virginia the South, but I was in Central Virginia. It's the South to me. So I was living there. And I was by myself, and God was faithful. He brought incredible people into my life. I have my best friends in the world. My man are from me being obedient and going there. My family, their sacrifices, I can't even tell you the amount of sacrifices they gave for me to go to college. I don't mean like figuratively, like, yeah, they thought about it. It was one of the options. No, like the main reason they sacrificed financially, they sacrificed from doing things and making moves that would elevate our whole family as a whole, was to make sure that I got through school. And it wasn't a burden that I put on my father or my mother. I told them, like, I can stay home, go work a job, pay for my own. But they specifically have sponsored my way to get through school, what I didn't have in financial aid. Uh, and I am an investment that they really believed God, and their heart is always God gave you to us to steward well. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If we are the difference between you being where we feel God has purposed you and you not being where God has purposed you, we always are going to cash all in and gamble on you, because God has given us to you to be that. And so we're never going to stray. That whole, 18 years and then you're out. I didn't have to deal with that. And it's a privilege and an honor that I didn't have to deal with that. I did have to deal with other things. I'm not telling y'all my parents are perfect. They're not. But the way that they support me and my sister, and they really, really, really are so supportive. And I pray to be who they have been to my children, because they have single-handedly broke a lot of generational curses in our family from them just being obedient to the call that they have on their life as parents and to steward parenting well. Yeah. But yeah, since graduating college, what have I been doing? A lot of what I've been doing is focusing on my business, I360 strategies. If you're not aware, I did open up my first business. If you don't know anything about that, I actually announced the business on this podcast, which is my last podcast episode, which is actually my most streamed episode and downloaded episode. And I did it with Travis James. Travis Smith, excuse me, Travis Smith. But yeah, it was now, years later, it is no longer I360 virtual tours. It is I360 strategies. I still offer 3D tours, but the main bread and butter of my business, or the main focus of my business, is content and social media strategy. And so I'm able to just be almost a consultant of sorts. And I talk to artists and creatives and creators about where they should be posting online, why they post online, how many times do they post, what do their analytics say, what do people like, building an online community on any of these platforms, specifically Instagram though. I've been doing this for like 7 years, but I never monetized it. It was never a business. I was doing it for fun. And I did it in college at a different level, when I was a part of a group called BTG, Bridging the Gap Urban Ministries. And that opened doors for me that I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would be a social media professional. It was just fun to me. Didn't even know that there was like a market in the industry for me to like make good money from it. So yeah, unbeknownst to me, the labor, the hard work, just doing everything that I've done in excellence. Pro tip, do everything that you do in excellence, no matter what. If you commit to it, commit to it. Which is why my favorite answer is no when people ask me to do most things. Be choosy and select with what you say yes to, because know that your yes is you committing with full commitment and you doing it to the best of your abilities. So that's just a caveat. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, when I was a part of BTG, I was doing it for fun. It was nothing that I ever thought that would be portfolio work that I could use to speak to my expertise in Instagram specifically. So if you're ever interested in that, you can go follow at I360 Strategies on Instagram. I love talking over there. I kind of give a whole behind the scenes of like my work days and Instagram stuff. It's a blast over there. I really enjoy it. But yeah, I'm in this season of life where I I only want to do things that bring me closer to what I feel purpose to do. Meaning people, places, and things that make me feel like it's not in alignment. Like, I want the things that I do, and I know everything won't feel this way, but I want the things that I do to feel like, oh yeah, like God specifically said that I should be doing this, and my yes is being obedient, and like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is who I'm supposed to be doing with. I'm supposed to be right here. And I feel like I've just been in that season of life where I don't have the energy for anything that's not purposed in my life. Um, for many reasons, but mostly just due to my energy levels nowadays. I am split in a lot of directions, and I'm tired, y'all. To be honest, I'm tired. I make money, but I don't make the money that I want to make, which is why I'm building a business to be able to do that. And I just don't have the energy nowadays for like foolishness. Like, if you're on that rah rah, you're on other stuff, then God bless you. And I'm really praying for you. I really am. I'm not saying that to be shady. Like, I'm praying for you, but you don't have access to me anymore. Sorry. You don't have access to me anymore. And maybe it'll be a boomerang and we're spinning around the block in a different season of life. Because some people are for seasons, and those seasons will come back around where they're for you, or you're for each other. But, I'm just not for it. And I don't have the energy for it. And I think a lot of that has to do with, like I said, me having multiple jobs. So let's talk about being a multi-hyphenate. What is a multi-hyphenate? I found this definition online, and the first time that I saw it was with Danye Taylor. If you don't know, she's a marketing strategist. She's really dope, really cool. I am a fan. I am a supporter. And she was the first person I saw, but then I saw it repeatedly from other people. And basically, the vibe that I get from multi-hyphenate is you wear a lot of hats in different industries. So, for instance, for me, I am an actress. Like, that is not something that I put on the back burner. I am an actress. I graduated with my degree in theater. And that is my number one purpose I feel in life, is to act and to storytell through the medium of like film and TV. I am a podcast host, which is like a ministry for me. I wear that hat as well. Also, I am a content and social media strategist. So I'm in the marketing world, a lot of times adjacent to the tech world because of the work that I do with 3D tours. Yeah. I also am a daughter and a girlfriend and a friend. We all are multi-hyphenates in many ways. But I think it speaks specifically to like your occupation and like what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I wear a few different hats. Sometimes my life is more focused on one of those passions than others. But at all times, I am actively doing them all. And recently, I think since graduating, and I've had the time to like just sit and think, I have been like so frustrated with myself for like stepping out and believing I can do so many things at the same time. Like, truly and honestly, it can be really exhausting, especially in entrepreneurship. It's like not fun a good amount of times when you're trying to understand like taxes and should you hire a tax consultant, and you made a really stupid mistake with your money that you didn't realize was a mistake until after you gave the money to the people or to when you purchased that thing. Or how should I be marketing myself? Who should I be talking with? Who should I be networking with? I need to make the content for myself that I'm making for my clients. I need to be doing everything that I'm telling my clients to do. Like should I just go ahead and get a full-time job or a part-time job to be helpful because this is now its own entity, its own business? I could go on and on. But it can be very frustrating at times that I believe in myself. And I don't mean that in a cutesy way. I mean, like, it's highly frustrating. I wish at sometimes that I was quote unquote normal and I could have just assimilated into a corporate work and get the good job and get the good benefits and be satisfied versus being an actress, a social media strategist, a business owner, a podcast host, a dancer. I do dance, y'all. I do sing. I just usually only do them when I'm acting. But I love all of these things. And it feels like you have to compromise. I have to compromise one for the other. It's life. But as I'm getting older, it's more and more challenging for me being such like I would call myself someone who's ambitious and driven and goal oriented. Don't hate me, mom, if I said that wrong. My mom's always correcting my grammar, but being someone who's just ambitious, it's hard for me sometimes when the work that I'm doing isn't matching my wallet. And that's just the reality of things. Like, I do a lot of work, and the work that I do, hold on. Yeah. Sorry. I do a lot of work, and the work that I do 9 times out of 10 doesn't match my wallet. And I understand I have to grind for, I gotta show myself to be the person that I am. Like, I know I am, but I gotta convince other people that I am before I can really cash in on some of the things that I have. But I don't know. It's exhausting. I wish sometimes that I would have just done it the traditional way. But I wouldn't have been happy, it wouldn't have been a good thing for anybody. But you can wish. Here's the pro tip. Another one. Be honest with yourself about where you're really at and what. This is me being transparent, y'all. Like, I really haven't talked to a lot of people about this. I'm just really being transparent and candid. Yeah, I really wish that I had done it different sometimes. Or I think about how it would have been if it was different. At the very same time, I'm thankful because even if none of this works out, at least I get to fail forward, if that makes sense. You're gonna fail. You can fail by never trying, or you can fail by trying and it didn't work out, but at least you had a hypothesis and you tested out your theory and you found that it was wrong. Now you can go back to your hypothesis and change some of the outcomes or change some of the inputs and say, okay, let's see if it works this time. But you can't change an input or a hypothesis if you never tried, and you'll never know the result of it if you never put your foot out there. So I'm thankful for that, if nothing else. Yeah, I'm really just happy to be here at this point. God is good. I can't complain. And I really had to graduate. I graduated in December of 2021, but I didn't have my graduation ceremony until May of this year, 2022. And so when I say graduate, I mean I really had to go through that process of walking across the stage and celebrating with my close family and friends. I really had to go through that for me to be able to do this pod. And so when I was trying to schedule before, when I first came on here, I told you this has been a long time in the making and I tried 10 times. I know why it wasn't working before. I had to have gone through some things over the past couple months to be present in this moment in a mature way that I probably couldn't have given clarity to if I hadn't gone through it. I thank God. I'm in truthfully and honestly, I'm saying all these things in the middle of turmoil. Like bills, trying to figure out how stuff is gonna get paid, this and that, right? I'm in the midst of that, but like I truly and honestly, I trust God. I don't know why. I don't know why I have such peace about everything. But where God has provided, or where God has guided me to, He has truly provided, and I have wanted for nothing in this season. It's been a challenging season. I am back on the West Coast. I love my home, but it's not where I feel that I'm called to at this moment in life. I am looking to move to Atlanta, Georgia in the fall. And I'm also long distance in my relationship. And that has been extremely tough. More tough than either me or my boyfriend Cam let on to each other or to other people. He's honestly, truly, I'm gonna take that back. Cam is more transparent with his feelings. He always has been, about how hard and difficult it is for us being long distance. I'm more of the person just like, suck it up, keep going, let's suck it up, let's not talk about it. We can talk about it after it's over. But there is a level of maturity. He's way more emotionally mature than I am. He's taught me a lot, in being in a relationship with him has taught me a lot about like expressing your feelings and being in tune with your feelings and like being expressive. I'm not that person. Kim very much so is. I actually talked about this with my brother Tim in that episode. But yeah, that's just really the season I'm in right now. People have asked for me to talk about this, which is the reason why I'm talking about it. And I've seen a lot of suggestions for topics and to talk about it. Even though this season I have a lot of guests coming on, I think 12 at this point are coming on. So y'all have a jam-packed season in store. Like I was truly winging it when I first started. This is very well organized, edited, and like it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I know at the beginning I was telling you like anything that I do, even if it's not like I'm gonna do the best that I can. I'm gonna show up the best that I can. So even though it may not be like highly produced in a way that those are my bars, I want to have the full production and to be in front of people and to be, a face to face, having interviews and that kind of stuff. That's like my barometer. So this is obviously not that, but it will be one day, prayerfully, if God says the same. But this season, you have so much in store. And let me name off to y'all some of the people that will be on this season. And I'm going to just talk about that real quick to close out because I don't want this to be too long because this is a podcast. I'm going to talk to y'all later. But I just want you to get a little feel for the season real quick. So, oh my goodness, y'all. I'm so excited to talk about all the people that will be on this season. Like I could cry. Thinking about some of these people like pinch me. I love every single person who was on, past and present. The people who have come on before, like having them on was such a blessing. The people that I was looking to have on for this season, some of them I had no relationship with and it was scary. And since then, not even from the podcast, but some of them I've built relationships with like outside of it. So now like it's crazy how God works. He will make you laugh at what your fears were. Like literally just 6-8 months ago when I was planning this in October, some of these people I was terrified to reach out for and ask for them to be on the pod. And now 8 months later, I'm like, why was I scared to ask them? But that's why you just gotta be obedient. You just gotta trust God. But let's go through the people who will be on this podcast this season. we have Alexis May, my sister. That's really like my dog. And I'm so excited to have her on because she don't be bragging on herself. She been talking about herself. She's an incredible visionary in so many different ways, especially with her creative direction. But she is also a photographer. She does graphics. She just lit. And I know you guys will enjoy all these people, but I think you'll enjoy her, especially if you are someone that has difficulty in betting on yourself. Just listening to her and the mental health journey that she's had has been incredible. Jay Crumb, he has been known in the CHH world, but he's not necessarily in that realm anymore. I'm like, when I asked him initially to come on, he was not at the place he is in life then after. So when we had his pod, because I had his pod already, his episode, just buckle up. It's really transparent. It's incredible that I feel incredibly honored that he was just willing to speak to me about deconstruction of his faith and where he is now as an agnostic. And yeah, it was incredible to talk about his journey as an artist, but even more so like where he's at. And he was candid and talking about something that's incredibly relevant right now. I know he's not the only person that I know that is deconstructing their faith or has said they're agnostic or has been atheist altogether. So just having his perspective and his personal journey with that, I think is needed. Like, and let me just let y'all know this now. If someone withdraws from the faith or any of that, that is not the that's a whole podcast episode, and I'll have to do more on that. But just know Jay Crumb was incredible. Again, I'm so thankful that he's here along with all the other guests. Talking with Joshua Carter, my fellow actor. He's incredible. And he's gonna talk about his journey with acting. He's been in some films. He has been on in a lot of shows. He's known in that Lynchburg area, but he has just recently moved out of the Lynchburg area. And yeah, he's incredible. And I've gotten to work with him numerous times. He's really who gave me my quote unquote big start in Lynchburg, if I'm being honest. He bet on me, and forever grateful for the visionary and the leader that he is. Maurice Victor, MV, I don't know if it's MV2 Creatives. I'm pretty sure it's MV2 Creatives, but gonna be talking to him. He actually had come on the pod before he had announced that he was a freelancer. So I think it'll be a treat to just listen to where he was at there before he had even bet on himself even more. And I'm really proud of him. We have a full season, and I'm just really excited to be able to like exhale now because I have recorded this podcast episode, and we can now know that all I have to do is edit it and it will be out into the world, and we can get this ball rolling. I've been in my own way, and thank y'all. Thank you so much for just being a part of this journey, because you don't have to be, and you don't have to listen to me. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. Yeah, this is Maia Moments, creatively purposed. I will see you guys in the next episode. Talk to you soon.